honey. Yeah. He died. Yeah. He died a couple of years ago. He was murdered, you see. Oh, my mercy. Mercy me, mercy my. What am I going to do? You know what I really wish you could do is play music on YouTube. So we could start out with some like hardcore music. I will say, out of all the apps out here, TikTok is fun because you can play music on it. And YouTube is, and anybody ever wonder that? I mean, before I even start, thank you, my friends. What's up, America? How you doing? What's up, my friends? What's up, Camille? What's up, SL Davis? What's up, Natasha? Has anybody else noticed that? So, like, on TikTok, you can play music. I came to look on TikTok. Oh, hell yeah. What's up, America? How you doing? So why is that? Why is it that TikTok allows it so that on live streams I can play like Slayer and shit? What's up, Rob? But here it's a copyright violation. Can anybody tell me why that is? Are TikTok like better negotiators? Are they involved with like Epstein Island somehow so they get to use music on their platforms? Don't really know what's up. What's up, America? How you doing, Mark? Not exactly sure what's up with that, but I would really like to see YouTube have a faculty to be able to play music like TikTok does. YouTube already has the GIFs that they can do on the vertical live streaming, which I like. They have the, similar kind of clone feature, if you want to call it that. But the one main thing about YouTube that's lacking over TikTok is the fact of the matter that, and you'll get sued by an artist on YouTube, but on TikTok, like, I play like hardcore music in the background, shit, nobody cares at all. It's a really weird thing. And I would say it's because they were a Chinese company, whatever it is, but I don't know, man. I think that even with intellectual property situations, someone would say something, but they just don't. So I don't know how that is. Maybe that's just a fault and a failure by TikTok or YouTube. What's up, America? Whatever that is whatever that is. So let's get into the news, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. On the Iranian front, it looks like Americans have been once again warned to leave the country of Iran immediately, citing a potential failure in nuclear talks and some type of open conflict that may pop out of nowhere. A friend of mine on TikTok believes it won't happen until after the weekend, given the fact that the stock market is closed above 50,000, and a war before that would fuck it up. But if you keep it going long enough, you might actually be able to have a larger stock market based on the 54,000. What's up, Jason? Up to the military-industrial complex. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, as you know, Donald Trump's Truth Social shared a video of Michelle and Barack Obama as apes, and that was a full video. They say it was a staffer, a boomer staffer, and they're now saying that Donald Trump is going to, I guess, punish that particular person, but still refuses to apologize for the Michelle and Barack Obama ape video that was put on Truth Social. So a lot of people are upset about that. It actually has more damning power than most people believe. A lot of people I hope it never does. Well, that's the thing. It's kind of, once again, it's another divisive thing between voters on either side and Trump, and then the politicians. What's up, America? How you doing, Jason? So that's what we're doing there. Now, the Olympic Games have opened. I will show you videos. What's up, Kimberly? I will show you videos later on of the opening satanic ceremony of the Winter Olympics that featured an upside-down star and featured the worship of the Olympic rings, similar to mocking Jesus during the last Olympic Games at the opening ceremony, where they had Pan come in and mock the painting of the Last Supper of Jesus Christ. This particular time, it looks like we're getting a just overtly satanic and Saturn worship open. I'll show that to you later, or at least clips of it. There was something else I was going to say. Obviously, the Epstein files, we'll get into that if you'd like. Whatever is clever. We have Muammar Gaddafi's son has been murdered in Libya. He was the front runner. He was the front runner for Libya's government. Muammar Gaddafi's son, 4 men burst into his house and murdered him. So a lot of people are thinking that that might be agitators possibly from the West. Other people are saying that it's an inside job, but whatever's clever, it looks like Muammar Gaddafi's son is now dead in Libya. In other news, Donald Trump has started investigating the show called The View. Thank you, Deb. The show called The View, if you know, with Joy Behar and Whoopi Goldberg. What's up, Woodsman? How you doing? Saying that The View basically is not equal politically. And so the Trump administration opens an investigation with the FCC into The View. Yeah, Muammar Gaddafi's son was killed 2 days ago or something. I need to make a video about that. I haven't done that. The FCC is launching a probe into ABC's The View amid crackdown on equal time for candidates. Fake news is not getting a free pass anymore, says the chairman of the FCC, Brendan Carr. Fox News is reporting the Federal Communications Commission launched an investigation into ABC amid agencies' crackdown on equal time for candidates. Last month, the FCC announced it would require broadcast networks to adhere to statutory equal opportunity requirements. What's up, Ziggy? Citing the Communications Act of 1934. What's up, Meep? Including their airing of late night and daytime talk shows, meaning that now Jimmy Kimmel and all the late night shows are also going to be under investigation for unequal political airtime. So let me know in the chat if you support that or if you're against that. Earlier, Democrat Texas candidate James Tallarico triggered the probe, citing no Republican counterpart. With some arguing that shows like The View are nothing but Democrat liberal propaganda mouthpieces. What's up, America? Oh, thank you for the gift. Thank you. What's up, Meep? So that's what we have going on there, which is quite fantastic. Epstein's cellmate. Okay, so we're getting word. What's up, America? We're getting word that the Department of Justice gave a pardon, a shadow pardon to Jeffrey Epstein at one point. So that's pretty sickening. We'll get on that here in a little while. And I do have to make a video about one more thing I'm going to talk about, but I'll talk about this because I already talked about this earlier. 9 out of 10 Americans. What's up, VTF? I'll just call you that. 9 out of 10 Americans say that we're in a full-blown cost of living crisis. 90% of America says we're in an affordability crisis. Half of Americans are struggling to make monthly bills on time, with an equal number finding it difficult to buy basics like groceries. So, half of America. What's up, Jim? Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Jim. Half of America struggles to pay monthly bills on time, and another half of those can't even buy groceries. Okay, well, being a fucking asshole. I guess you are being an asshole. Go fuck yourself then. Yeah, block that piece of shit. Tax refunds have now become a survival necessity more than fun money, with 73% of Americans saying they need tax refunds to pay bills that are back due. Only 14% of people say that they will use their tax refund for anything fun. 38% of Americans have been forced to move due to the high cost of living, with 50% of Gen Z having to relocate because they can't afford where they live. And most Americans, 64% of Gen Z believes they will never afford a home. However, in a stunning twist of fate, only 9%, listen to this, only 9% of boomers say that they're struggling. So while 65% of Gen Z says they'll never own a home, only 9% of boomers are struggling. 19% are having trouble with their bills compared to 65%. Now, boomers will say that they worked longer and harder. Millennials and Gen X disagree. We say that it was easier for you. But we can go about that, whatever it is. Crawling in the attic's not bad, man. Every man, as long as you have something you do, then that's honorable. As long as it's not selling children like Jeffrey Epstein. 52%. Oh, Jordan, are you kidding? Shit. Absolutely Jordan. LeBron James, but absolutely Jordan. 52% of America is struggling to pay their bills, period. And almost 60% say they don't expect their life to get any better. So that's where we're at right now. Now, on top of that, more dominant than Jordan. True, but Jordan was a trailblazer. But the real question, he was a trailblazer in the field. Yeah, he was not a Portland trailblazer. He was a bull, yeah. But the bigger question is, him or Wilt Chamberlain? Isn't Wilt Chamberlain the basketball player that got a bunch of diseases from fucking so many girls? Pretty sure. Or, excuse me. My stats are way off. Well, the last time I was big into watching basketball, Scottie Pippen was still with the Bulls. I'll just put it to you that way.
Reggie Miller was with the Pacers.
Reggie Miller was with the Pacers. I saw a Orlando Magic, Indianapolis Pacers game with Shaquille O'Neal versus Reggie Miller. Obviously, we lost because Shaquille O'Neal crushes it. By the way, he's got a PhD. What a king. Shaquille O'Neal really is the man, isn't he? Oh, let's see. Hey, Ed, whatever your name is, suck my dick. How's that? Shut the fuck up. Fucking bitch ass. Anyway, Gen Z is now officially the first generation to be dubbed dumber than the last. And researchers surprised by brain benefits of cannabis use in people over 40, which me and my wife talked about this earlier. Apparently, people over 40 that smoke weed or at least eat it have higher cognitive resources than the same age that doesn't. So that's another, which is, I'm 43 and I've been smoking weed constantly. So there we go. U.S. debt on track to surpass record-breaking deficit at the time of World War II. A majority of Americans are concerned about the economy and want lawmakers to address the mounting debt, but the deficit ratio to GDP is on track to surpass World War II. According to latest research, as we head further into 2026, most Americans continue to hold a negative view of the United States economy. Yeah, a consensus that appears to hold across the political divide. The country's fiscal burden continues to skyrocket. $38 trillion of debt in October last year, and the debt is increasing by 6.17% billion a day. What's up, my friend? How you doing? The U.S. economy right now, projected debt, March 6th, 2026, will be $39 trillion. By June, it will be $40 trillion or before. Over the past 2 decades, U.S. borrowing has been uninterrupted, and analysts reveal that the current U.S. national debt as a share of the economy has surpassed that of World War II. The committee responsible for federal budget, a nonpartisan, nonprofit fiscal policy organization, released an analysis highlighting that the country's national debt as a share of GDP is now at 106%, and will continue to grow to 122% by 2036 and 148% of GDP by 2050. So, there you go. On top of that, the U.S. Treasury Department has confirmed that it's already spent $602 billion more, with a 23% increase in spending, though the Trump administration cited that they have cut costs. So even though Donald Trump says costs have been cut, the reality of the situation is that spending is actually up 23%. Now, what that means is that most of your money's not going into anything to do with America. It's going into interest, it's going into payments, and it's going into back-ending on debt. So what we need to do is get rid of the Federal Reserve and replace it, but we won't. Sorry, the weed is strong. Cartels are overwhelming police with ammo made for the American military that they're getting. And the capital city of Ukraine, Kiev, is getting only 4 to 6 hours of electricity a day after relentless Russian strikes, as Vladimir Putin fires 440 more missiles into Ukraine last night. Japan is preparing for attacks from China by digging underground places for its population to hide. And enthusiasm into the United States is getting lower when it comes to participation. And there's also people believing that the Super Bowl is now rigged due to a pre-fireworks show that showed the colors of the team they believe is going to win. So that's basically... Oh, and Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg have been pictured on at a meeting with Jeffrey Epstein and several other people. So when you say, oh, no, they didn't do anything, well, they were definitely there. Because that's fucked up. And we've talked about the Epstein files. 38 trillion is insane. We owe half of what the entire world's money is. Now, we have Jeffrey Epstein with more photos and videos of that. People are starting to crash out about Epstein once and for all. People are seen going off. People don't want to work anymore. And they certainly don't want to give their money to the United States government, which some people are now believing that American taxpayer money went to go traffic girls. As a matter of fact, I've had multiple people tell me about that, saying that the United States government almost assuredly spent money on illegal sex trafficking. What's up, America? How you doing? And on top of that, on top of American taxpayer money being spent on trafficking, they're now saying that Jeffrey Epstein was more than likely also an American asset. As far as intelligence. So he was just playing seeing how far he could take fucking kids. Is that what this guy is? Good Lord. Anyway, flesh-eating worms are spreading into the United States as an official disaster is declared. Terrifying flesh-eating parasite is pouring into America from Mexico, dubbed the New World Screwworm, lays hundreds of larvae in a wound of an animal and humans, which hatch hours later to consume the victim's tissue. The infestation of the screwworm can lead to deep, painful wounds that become infected and often result in death if untreated. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has issued a declaration of disaster Tuesday after the screwworm endangered the state's booming beef industry. The declaration gives Abbott's task force greater authority, resources, and speed to treat the threat of the possible parasite that could be costing the United States $1.8 billion in livestock. The screwworm moves closer to Texas and Florida, as they say the first cases of it have been declared. Florida Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services found larvae in an open wound of a horse coming from Argentina. Here you go, honey. The horse has been quarantined. I hope he doesn't die. What's up, Marine? The New World screwworm was eradicated from America 40 years ago. Florida officials announced its return would pose serious threat to livestock and domestic animals, particularly in Florida and Texas, or any places in the South with abundant animal populations. According to this, it was eradicated back as the last ones were seen in 1975. And they initially came from the Darien Gap region in Panama. Now it's spreading into southern and northern Florida and throughout central and south Texas, with some very light cases being reported in the desert southwest of Arizona and New Mexico. California. Of course, as you know, California has a great deal of livestock. Yeah, I would be getting that under control absolutely today, quick, fast, and in a hurry. The screwworm is expected to spread, and hopefully it does not get into grazing fields in Kansas and Iowa and places like Indiana as well. But that's it going on. So, another story here, Yanni. As Three Doors Down lead singer is dead at the age of 47, a battle with cancer. My wife apparently likes Three Doors Down. Let me see your breasts. They're just so good. Oh my God. That's just like perfect. Brad Arnold, the iconic frontman for Three Doors Down, is dead at 47. The band confirmed the heartbreaking news on social media the same day he passed. According to their statement, what's his name? Amold lost his battle with cancer peacefully early that morning, surrounded by his wife, family, and loved ones. The band helped define a generation of rock music, pitting timeless hits like Kryptonite, famously written while sitting in math class in high school. His music reverberated far beyond the stage, creating moments of connection, joy, faith, and shared experiences that will live long after the stage performance, says the band. With the beloved wife, Jennifer, and his family by his side, he passed away peacefully, surrounded by loved ones in his sleep after a courageous battle with cancer. In May, Arnold shared that he was battling renal carcinoma, a kidney cancer that had spread to his lungs, making a stage 4 diagnosis. He was founding member, lead vocalist, original drummer, which he formed in 1996 in Mississippi. The band quickly made their way to debut album, A Better Life, released in 2000, which included Kryptonite, Loser, and Be Like That. Over the next 2 decades, Three Doors Down released multiple chart-topping albums, including Away from the Sun, The 17 Days, cementing their status as one of the biggest post-grunge bands of the 2000s. Brad helped redefine mainstream rock, blending post-grunge accessibility with emotional, direct songwriting and lyrical themes that resonated with everyday listeners. The band wrote in a tribute. He was a devoted husband to Jennifer. Kindness and generosity touched everyone. It was quite a long statement. They show pictures of him. Those closest to him will remember him forever, not only for his talent, but also warmth, humanity, faith, and deep love of his family and friends. His family expressed gratitude for the outpouring of love and support and asked for privacy to mourn. Tragically, Arnold is the second founding member of Three Doors Down to die. The guitarist died of a prescription drug overdose 10 years ago in 2016. So that's fucked up. I've noticed a lot of people I would consider still younger are dying. A lot of them with colon cancers or odd cancers. I really wish that they could get a hold of that. You know what I'm saying? But they don't seem to be doing anything with that. Ozempic, the weight loss drug, is now having devastating side effects with nonstop vomiting, exploding body parts. Yes, I am, ADJ. I did not get that either, by the way. Nonstop, this is Ozempic here. Ozempic's new side effects, nonstop vomiting, exploding body parts, and blindness. The devastating new side effects that no one saw coming, says Jillian Michaels. I don't want Ozempic. I better do better then. I better do better. Yeah, fuck that shit. And Target's new policy of smiling enthusiastically is now making shoppers uncomfortable because it's fake as fuck. So ahead of the holidays, Target, the store Target, introduced, I will never take that shit. It's damn right fucking ice cream. Ahead of the holidays, Target introduced a new guideline intended to draw customers in, and it turns out it did the opposite. Back in November, Target demanded that workers kept their spirits bright and their smiles even brighter as the holiday season came in. But instead, the superstore imposed a bizarre new rule on employees in an effort to spark festive cheer up and down the aisles, but it's backfired. Target told shop assistants they had to slap a massive grin on their faces anytime they came within 10 feet of a customer. Yes, most of it was muscle mass, and that's terrible. I would rather lose fat and gain 5 pounds with muscle over the fat. So I would rather lose 20 pounds of fat and gain 21 pounds of muscle, knowing that in the long run, the muscle would be better, as long as I don't look like weird and pear-shaped. No, I'm not in a store. I took this image in New York a couple of years ago. Not only that, but employees were also instructed to enthusiastically greet every shopper that came within 4 feet. Hi, welcome to Target! Imagine, yeah, that would be fucked up. Target executives hoped the new policies would drive sales up after a streak of disappointing numbers, but the overbearing employees' game plan has apparently flopped, obviously, because we know it's disingenuous bullshit, especially when the employees were famous for saying have a day before that. I will spend any time at Target making sure I'm not within 4 feet of an employee, says people on Reddit. The aggressive, forced interaction is the exact reason why I avoid going into a cosmetic store, because I don't like hands-on customer service. Yeah, you have a generation of anxiety-ridden people, and you want to be up their ass about it. That will cause my ass to run away immediately. This is horrible. Customers don't want this. This sucks for everybody. I'm sure the majority of employees don't want this, introvert or not. I doubt most customers want this. All this policy does is force an awkward, non-genuine interaction with 95% of people that are not interested in it. The best thing Target can do is get rid of the top 10 people that run the company and replace it with anybody else. Literally anybody off the street that has a job and no drug addiction would probably do better than what Target does. Target sucks. I haven't gone there. Me and my wife barely shop there. You know what I'm saying? Well, it's not even speaking to customers. It's the disingenuous way of it. So we know they don't want to do it. We know they're being forced to do it. And that's the thing, is it shows no real adherence to any type of loyalty. And nobody should feel loyalty to any company at this point, the way shit's been going. Because it's disingenuous horse shit, and the company hates its employees at this point, and the customers because of their price gouging. But I digress. Chris Christie, what was that? Was he on Bill Maher? He's talking shit about Trump. What's up, America? How you doing? Inventory robot stopped and said hello. Really? Hello, John? No way. The inventory robot said hi. I'm going to name my phone Dick Face. So I'm going to make a profile that's public on my phone. Then I'm going to call my phone Dick Face, or upload something that says that. So a robot will say, hello, Dick Face, as it comes up to me. That's fucked up, BG. Holy shit. Hello, John. I know you. I'm a robot. I know everything about you. Facial recognition. Holy shit, man. This is getting crazy as fuck. Wow. We have a new island. Not a new island, but a new place rich people are going. In New England. Let's see. Nantucket was... Where's the island? Just show me the fucking island. Why do they have to bury it? Mount Desert Island in Maine has been an under the radar getaway for the wealthy and elite for years. But now they're blowing the lid on it, so you can't go there either. Located near Acadia National Park in Bar Harbor. Bar Harbor's not fucking... Like, that's always rich people. Who the fuck do these people think they are? Stupid people don't know about that. I knew about Bar Harbor for years. Median home price, $1.03 million. So there's that right there. Savannah Guthrie says that they will pay a ransom to get their mother back who was kidnapped. I wonder if she's dead. Just like a Big Lebowski situation. Savannah Guthrie says she's agreed to pay the ransom in exchange for her mother's return, and a new video message to the 84-year-old's captors. The Today Show host shared a video holding hands with her sister and brother, saying that they had received communication from her mother's abductor. We received your message and we understand. Savannah said, we beg you now to return our mother to us so we can celebrate with her. That's the only way to have peace. It's very valuable to us. This is very valuable to us. Savannah did not offer details over the communications. Wonder how much they're going to pay. I dropped my lid. It follows a series of reported ransom notes being sent to TMZ and KOLD Newsroom. Nancy, 84, was abducted from her Tucson, Arizona home in the early hours of February 1st. Sounds like a cartel job. Authorities have not verified the legitimacy. However, Savannah's latest video appears to indicate the family's been in contact with those claiming to be holding her for ransom. The ransom letters demanded millions in Bitcoin. Why? Like, really? How about fuckface? Hell yeah. In return, like, really? Bitcoin? Lucky you dropped a bottle top. I don't know what happened. Savannah and her siblings previously shared a video this week demanding proof of life of their mother after news. It's unclear if any proof of life has been made, but the video appears to indicate the family's been in contact with the legitimate abductors. Hours before the search, the Prima County Sheriff's Office said it was aware of a third ransom note that was sent to KOLD News. So there's been at least 3. While Nanos offered optimistic views of the search, previously admitted investigators are in a race against time, with the 84-year-old suffering health problems and believed to be without daily medication. Why? Why kidnap somebody? I know to get money, but what a bunch of fucking pieces of shit. I mean, that's like a piece of shit move. That is a piece of shit move. The King of England, says he has no option but to provide for Prince Andrew, even though he's a child molester, by basically giving him a free house and a place to live. And Prince William and King Charles ejected Andrew at midnight from his house. Damn, that sucks, doesn't it? So, it looks like Americans are leaving red states heading for blue, but not for politics. California has lost 0.58%. Most people citing cost of living. I have a feeling she is dead too, and they're playing the family. Alaska lost the largest, or nearly the largest amount, with negative 0.61% of the population gone due to cost of living. Hawaii lost 0.62% of its population due to cost of living. And the state of New York lost 0.69% of its population due to cost of living. However, the states of Idaho, so California, Alaska, Hawaii, Oregon, Washington, Illinois, New York, Maryland, Louisiana, Colorado, and New Mexico are hemorrhaging people, and Idaho, Montana, Arizona, Nevada, Arkansas, Tennessee, North Carolina are gaining people. Alabama, with South Carolina gaining the most amount of people at 1.21 gigawatts worth of people. Source is the U.S. Census Bureau, per the London Daily Mail. And that story can be found. The map will terrify Democrats. Americans flee blue states in droves, but not because of politics, because of cost of living. That is by Martha Williams, U.S. Real Estate and Consumer Reporter, published 8:40 Eastern Standard Time, February 7th. And it's on the London Daily Mail, but it's being cited, so you can go look up her. And they have a link to this woman who's a real estate and consumer. Yeah, Texas, people are moving to Texas and Florida, and they're not going to Florida in the droves that they were. As a matter of fact, people are fleeing Florida for South Carolina. Maine had a significant population gain as well, with about 0.8%, give or take, of a population increase in Maine. Most of it citing affordability, saying that the cost of living in Illinois was taxes. So they all seem to have kind of a different reason. So like in a couple of states like Indiana just weren't mentioned because people hate Indiana so much they're not even going to say we probably lost fucking 800% somehow. Anyway, California, obviously I understand why people are leaving California and New York just because of basic cost of living. Same with like Washington State. What surprised, well, not really surprised me, North Carolina, Tennessee, South Carolina, those are the 3 big states down there. One of the weird ones, well, not weird to me, was Louisiana losing so many people. It's a deep red state, but Louisiana is not a place I would want to move to. And a lot of the Midwestern states, like Kansas, Iowa, Nebraska, they're starting to hemorrhage people. That's for different reasons. That's because people there's nothing to do there. So it's boring as fuck. And that's why I want to leave Indiana, because it's boring as fuck here. So when my kid graduates high school, sayonara, we're fucking done with this state. But yeah, North Carolina is booming, it looks like. Really, South Carolina? Yeah, and the only thing it looks like is people are moving to Charleston and the Myrtle Beach area. That's about what that looks like. And I can understand Murder Beach if it's North Myrtle Beach. I've been there many times. I've never been to Charleston. So, yeah, I don't know about I've been all over the country and world, but I've never been to Charleston, South Carolina. So, yeah. So, let's see. There's protests starting. Can Dracula revive Cynthia Arvino's career? The stakes are high as she brings her one. Okay, so what's up with Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo? Can anybody tell me what the fuck that is? I don't know if Cynthia Erivo is some kind of like devil worshiper and has a spell over this chick. Are they lesbians? I don't really understand what it is exactly. It's a very odd, weird, forced kind of beta alpha relationship where Ariana Grande looks like, she looks like a crackhead sort of. And Cynthia Erivo kind of looks like her dominant sexual partner. They're overly affectionate. It's like they're fucking rolling. Right? I mean, are they on a bunch of Molly or something? What's going on here? I mean, they're on interviews together, and the whole interviews, they're holding hands together. Me and my wife hold hands a lot, but not like that. When we're at the diner and we're both eating a meal, I'm not sitting there like with our pinkies touching as we're putting the forks up together. What's up, North Indiana? What's up? So Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande, that's a weird relationship, especially, I don't know what it is. It makes it weirder that she fucked Pete Davidson. He just screams a guy who has a tattoo on his dick. I mean, am I right? I don't know. Like something that says, lucky you or welcome to the big boat or something. You know what I'm saying? Welcome to the train, whatever. Either way, I don't know what it is, but that's just a very weird relationship between Ariana Grande and her. So let me get into other news sources. That's a full news source. What's up, America? How you doing, Clarabelle? Ukraine is our enemy, says the Prime Minister of Hungary, Orban, that says the Ukrainians are anti-Western, basically. The United States Department of Justice deleted Epstein emails to protect Joe Biden, apparently. And a couple of congressmen and senators have gotten the unredacted names of the child molesters that were on Epstein's list. So there will probably be leaks coming up. People are starting to freak out about it. And I'm still calling for a nation or worldwide protest against the child molesters in our government and our world governments. And not just see them ousted. I think they should be executed for a lot of the crimes they're being accused of right here. It's very sickening. And it's one of those types of things I would say, let's round them up and get the firing squad. So the more and more I see of it, the DOJ gave a soft pardon to Jeffrey Epstein on one occasion, even though they knew he was a child molester, eating children, mass orgies with children. This is what our global elites were doing. You have everybody from Indonesian government officials to Donald Trump, all the way to Steve Bannon and fucking Saudi Arabian officials mentioned. The list goes on and on. The British government right now is in absolute disarray. What's up, Built in America? Hell yes. What's up, my friend? So the world's in absolute disarray. The British government, Disney was involved. There's potential that the British government could collapse as Mackelson or whatever the British ambassador is. They're now demanding any correspondence with him. That includes Prime Minister Keir Starmer, which has single-handedly or nearly single-handedly destroyed the West. All these people that were child molesters at Jeffrey Epstein's island, all were the same thing of ushering in migrants into Western Europe, Canada, North America, or Canada, the United States, all of North America, Australia, New Zealand, and all these people that were baby-killing child molesters, baby-eating child molesters, are the same ones that all had a global agenda to bring as many migrants into Western nations as could ever be seen. It's almost like they purposely destroyed their own nations to try to bring in trafficked children from migrant communities. Instead of going and trafficking the children and bringing them, you could just bring them into your nations and do it from your own backyard. That's what it looks like to me. And it looks like these child molesting pedophile leaders of the world. Hell yeah, Billy. And it looks, thank you, my friend. And it looks like these child molesting pedophile elites were basically trying to force as many men here into these countries to get as many babies made with, because, they make 7 or 8 babies, the Islamic ones, so they could traffic and steal them and use them sexually and eat them like it says in the fucking, thank you for the gifts, like it says in the Epstein files. Now, couple that with the satanic opening ceremonies at the Olympics, the overt Saturn worship that we saw with that. Like, it almost seems like Vladimir Putin was right. There's some information. These are some weird stories. So there's some information indicating that Vladimir Putin saved children from being sex trafficked through the Ukrainian conflict. And on top of that, there is a document that came out that said that Michael Jackson was saving children from the Epstein pedophile network at his Neverland Ranch. So instead of Michael Jackson being a child molester, Michael Jackson was actually directing children to the Neverland Ranch away from those that were going to be trafficked to Epstein. So some of those people that Michael Jackson was accused of molesting, he actually saved, and the global elite were trying to bring charges on him for shit they were doing. That's what the Epstein files have alleged. So that would make Michael Jackson a hero, more so than you ever knew. And so, yeah, and some people say Epstein's still alive. So I want to just look at that with Michael Jackson, with all the albums and the songs that he made in the past. Princess Diana, for instance, being visibly disgusted on learning information she was not allowed to tell people. There was a lot of hidden realities that we all kind of heard echoes about for years and years and years. Everybody from Princess Diana saying it's twisted and sick and her almost losing her mind, to Alex Jones talking all kinds of fucked up shit, to other individuals who slipped across it that ended up being murdered by those people to keep it a secret. The things that are coming out now, you can't imagine how many people have been murdered. Built in America does not surprise me at this point. I am talking heavy shit with these people, and I'm sure somebody's trying to ruin me, but YouTube's better than TikTok, because after the false reports are made or whatever on me, YouTube stops giving them validity over time once they find out it doesn't work. So after 4 or 5 fake reports, after a while, they just don't listen to them anymore. That's why I like YouTube better. Whereas on TikTok, yeah, looked it up, it wouldn't pull up. Yeah, they try. You can get him on X a lot. I see it on X a lot. I think he might be alive. There's some evidence showing that he does, or he might be. We have Japanese Prime Minister laments a lack of peace treaty. They want a peace treaty with Russia. U.S. wants Ukraine conflict to end by summer. That's what they said last year. European Union seeking to slash family support to bankroll Ukraine. So now we're starting everybody's... Thank you, user. Now people are starting to turn on Ukraine. And Iran will strike U.S. bases if attacked. We've already heard that. Russia launched large-scale attacks into Ukraine. 440 missiles and drones attack Ukraine. And Donald Trump is surprised as J.D. Vance is booed at the Milan Olympic Games. The return of the atom, survival of nations means embracing nuclear fuel. I still have my doubts about that. Oh, and by the way, the European Union sues TikTok for addictive behavior and banning and shadow banning news agencies without allowing them to appeal or telling them why. So not too long ago, about a week or two ago, news agencies in the European Union were saying that TikTok was shadow banning their voices and removing content without the ability to appeal, which that is against European Union law. So finally, the European Union has filed a lawsuit against TikTok for one, addictive device usage and addictive programming. And then on top of that, for censorship that was not allowed to be appealed or was given no reason. That's the same shit they did to me. Exactly, Billy. So the European Union. So it's me talking shit about TikTok. I mean, you literally have major governmental organizations that are suing TikTok, and TikTok still will not listen, even though... So if TikTok won't even listen to ginormous governments and economic systems, there's no way on earth they'll listen to us. It's insane. Federal government busts a Chinese marriage fraud ring for evading U.S. immigration law. I'm assuming this is a K-9 visa situation. The federal government has busted a marriage fraud ring that's been working to skirt immigration law to get automatic citizenship for Chinese migrants by marrying Americans in sham marriages. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Middle District of Florida announced the indictment of 7 Chinese migrants on Wednesday. Prosecutors said the suspects allegedly engaged in conspiracy to recruit American citizens, particularly members of the armed forces, to enter into sham marriages to Chinese nationals for the purposes of evading immigration law and illicitly obtain lawful permanent residency status for Chinese nationals. Prosecutors said the sham marriages took place across the country in states including Florida, New York, Connecticut, and Nevada, among others. To create the illusion of a real marriage, the conspirators took photographs of the couples to create evidence that could be presented to immigration authorities to suggest that the marriages were legitimate and the couples were in loving, committed relationships. In reality, the conspirators had agreed to a payment plan whereby the American citizen's spouse would receive cash payments up front for marrying the Chinese national, a second payment when legal immigration was obtained, and a final payment after the divorce. What, really? Really? Oh my God, what are we doing here? Really? So that's fucked up. I'll make a video about that on TikTok. And China is also exploiting birthright citizenship laws to expand their influence. And that I'm going to show you some more things. I want to show you videos of New York City and Mom Donnie with the garbage. And I want to go into more Epstein Island, as it's now being shown that the Bureau of Prisons were shredding documents relating to Jeffrey Epstein's death. So that's fun. We also have who is protected under the transparency task: presidents, secretaries of states, and celebrities. Nothing would have been released if Representative Ro Khanna had not forced this. And even now, against the law, they're withholding information to protect celebrities. So, real quick, I want to show you the trash going on in New York City and what you're dealing with here. Piles of dirty garbage snow and, of course, urine-soaked snow from humans and animals alike, as far as the eye can see in the city of New York, because of Mom Donnie. Some people are saying that he is also Jeffrey Epstein's kid. Some say the Island Boys are as well. I don't know if that's the case, but let me get this all set up here. And honey, you got a Jeter for us. And so this is February 5th, and I'm going to zoom in here. Oh, yeah, George Clooney, yeah, Tom Hanks, yeah. So I want to see the celebrities on here. Like, I want heads to roll. I'm sick of this these fuck faces. Why is our government protecting celebrities that are child molesters? What the fuck are we doing here? This is ridiculous, and we should demand these people face justice. But we won't because you haven't killed them the first time. You understand? I don't know what it is. So let's go look at the garbage in Mom Donnie's New York. There you go. What do you think of that hot stuff? That's how Mom Donnie's doing. Yep. Nobody's picked up the garbage. And normally in New York City, the garbage piles up at nighttime, and they have it all gone by the day. What is this? Paris? This was Paris 2 years ago. Look at that shit. So our government leaders are just a bunch of child molesters, and they don't even do anything. What is this? Mom Donnie's New York trash crisis draws help from the Hasidic Jews, pitching in with sanitation workers to help pick up the garbage so that they can get... Oh my God, look at this shit. Why? So Hasidic Jews are helping throw garbage away in New York City to help. So the citizens are now going to have to be sanitation workers. Fantastic. What the fuck is going on here? He's going to build toilets around the city. Man, I can't wait to see what that'll happen. Those will be diarrhea and sex-infested places. Wonder how many bodies they'll find dead of heroin overdoses. I'm sorry, fentanyl overdoses. Here we got New York City on February 1st. And I just want to be very clear, though. New York City, at nighttime, always has trash on the streets, doesn't it, honey? Mm-hmm. New York City at night always has trash on the streets. So I want everybody to understand that. But during the day, it's usually gone. I spelled it Nay York. What is wrong with me? Did I have a stroke again or something? So I want to see the garbage today. Here's another. What's up, Gino? Yeah, what's up, America? So this is Mom Donnie's New York right here. Promised free buses, but delivered mountains of trash New York City is now learning how socialism works. Now, you see, this is true. If Mom Donnie fucks up New York, then socialism dies here. Look at this. Look at this. Look how tall this fucking garbage is. This is almost 2 stories of garbage. Look at that. 2 stories of fucking garbage, bro. What are you doing? What's up, New Mexico? How you doing? That's mountain garbage, Ray. I'm telling you, man, this is like... And nobody wants to see this. This is an American city. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to see this. This is from the United States. We're supposed to be better than this. Look at this. 2 stories of garbage. Like, there's at least 5 feet or 4 feet of garbage. There's 5 feet. Here we go to 7 to 8 feet of garbage. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Nana? How you doing? By the way, don't forget to thumbs up and gift if you got it. If you want to become a member, please do. That would be fantastic. And New York City covered in garbage.
This is what New York City looks like nearly 2 weeks since about a foot of snow fell here. Here in New York, there's the dirty snow and the mountains of stinky garbage. Here's what Mo saw today on his walk to work. New Yorkers have taken to social media to document what they're describing as probably biohazardous piles of gray and black snow blocking street corners. Also yellow. Dogs have gotten involved. Temperatures have barely inched above freezing.
Told you.
Storm, so the snow hasn't had a chance to melt. At the same time, there hasn't been much in the way of snow removal since right after the snow fell. Check out these videos from around the internet.
We've reached the point of no return here in New York City. We now have garbage igloos.
Garbage igloos. Garbage igloos. There you go. A little fun surprise. Man, that's the trypophobia.
Others are joking that the city's new hottest real estate is igloos, snow caves, and take a look at this 75-foot-long row of trash bags resting outside apartment buildings on the Upper East Side. During the storm, garbage trucks were repurposed as plows, leading to backlogs of trash pickup. And now the snow piles are making it tough for sanitation workers to pick up garbage bags. And aside from being just kind of gross, several EMS workers at New York Presbyterian Weill Cornell said snow buildup is making it difficult to move through the area. A reporter for the New York Post saw at least 6 ambulances stuck in heavy traffic with lights and sirens on along York Avenue. An EMT told the New York Post that this is one of the worst snow removals that they've ever seen. They said it's been a while since we've had this amount of snow, but it is affecting the traffic. New York's Department of Sanitation has written about 1,900 summonses to property owners for failure to clear snow and ice from a sidewalk, and about 50 for illegally throwing snow back into the street or into a bike lane. In a statement, the city said residents need sanitation. They said, quote, "We are prioritizing trash and compost, the stuff that can smell, over recyclables, but we're picking up all streams all across the city, just on a slight delay."
Slight delay, honey. Yeah, there you go. So that's Zoran Mom Donnie. And his running. Now, I want to show you the Olympics, the Satanic Olympics that's been going on. First of all, I want to show you there. See, look, there's Doja Cat, Satanic, Taylor Swift, Satanic, Megan Thee Stallion, Satanic, Travis Scott, Cardi B, Sam Smith, Justin Timberlake. You got, what is it, Lil Uzi Vert, Nas, and then The Weeknd. So we've got, which I don't know, The Weeknd can be conducted as what have you there. But I want to get into the Satanic Olympic Games. And so this was the opening games of the Olympics. Everybody see that? This was the opening games. This was the opening ceremony. Thank you. Why am I fucking retarded lately? And then, of course, here is them mocking Jesus in the painting, of course. But I want to look up Satanic Olympics and see if we can get some of this out here. We've seen the first one, but what we saw was this image. And then we also saw... What?
That was a big one.
That was a big one. And then we also saw this. Once I pull it back, that's the Satanic Star. with the Olympic flame in the middle. So they're basically just openly, going in for Satan there. But let me get to, that's what it looks like in its full. Yeah, the kidnapping thing is fucked, man.
All right.
What?
So you showed that girl against.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely full, yep. I'm weirded out about that. I would say it's an inside job, but based on the fact it was in Arizona, makes me think it's like a cartel kidnapping. I hope she's still alive. That's my whole thing on it. So let's get into this. We have the pentagram that was seen at the Olympics. I did not. Oh yeah, I saw a couple that he was at his victory speech. So remember, the thing is about that. This is the Winter Olympics. This is not a Slayer concert. Okay, so this is my whole thing. I expect this at a Slayer concert. Right? I do not expect this type of imagery fucking Winter Olympic Games. What the fuck is going on here? Somehow this is even weirder. And so this looks like this looks like straight up devil worship. Now they'll say it's not. They'll say it's this, that, or the other. It's not. And then here's like this one right here. I mean, tell me that shouldn't be a Winter Olympic Games, right? This is in Milan, Italy. And this is the shit we're seeing. Remember right before Corona in London, and they had the one with everybody in the beds and the fucking everybody's sick and shit? Yeah, so here's what we have here. Like they're openly celebrating Satan. Yeah, look at this. Because it's the Olympic committees. And the Olympic committees, they're fucking like, yeah. What's up, Ray? What's up, Nana? So that right there, and everybody's having a good time, and people say, "Oh, it's just art." Well, this was the first one from last year, where you had Pan sitting on the table.
Is that the same fucking fat chick?
Yeah. So the
She was in both?
the big one right there, this fat bitch. She represents Jesus Christ in the painting. And this is...
And she was in this year's show?
No, she wasn't in this year. They're just showing... Yeah, this is multiple years. Like, see... Okay, so here's the thing. See this image right here? The bottom image is the Last Supper of Jesus. This is a painting. It's very famous. And this painting has been... like the staple of Christianity and art, right? And then the top, you can see they're mocking the video or the art piece and they have a bunch of trans people that are the disciples. And then this giant woman is a representation of Jesus. But then as the show goes on, last year, the opening ceremony, this freak that's dressed like Pan, the god Pan, comes and sits on the table with them. And it's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Well, it's just art. And this is the thing. The whole thing about this is, remember, the Epstein files were just released. So we know child-eating satanic pedophiles run the world. And then you get this. So we know, keep that in the back of your mind, that child-molesting satanic pedophiles run the world. And then you have this bullshit, which is basically honoring Satan right here. Here you got it. And it's like last year, or the Summer Olympics. What's up, Build America? And then last year, the Winter Olympics, right? They had some like anti-Christian shit that was just built into it. And then you have like the ringed Saturn worship again, which has been a big thing, and that's why the Olympic rings anyway. You have Masonic symbols, which I debate some of those. I'm believing it's more Saturn worship at this point, the black cube of Saturn worship. And so they worship the hexagonal Saturn. And the vortex, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here in a second. So, like, this is the inside of the ceremony from above. Then you have the pedophile symbols, boy lover, pedophile symbols that are also added to these ceremonies. Obviously, oh, hey, there's me, honey. Hey, somebody reposted my video from TikTok. Look at that. When I was talking about the satanic shit. Yep, look at that. Hey, there it is. Thank you. Oh, there's another bro right there. Hey, thank you, my friend. That's good stuff. I like it when people do that and they post my shit. As the setting of the games being underway. Yeah, that was me. And then a backdrop of music. So it's a really weird, and it's not one of those things, it's just like, it's really weird for the sake of being weird. It's weird because it's open Satan worship. It's not weird because, oh, I just don't understand art. No, I definitely understand art. I've been to many art museums. You're just worshiping Satan and trying to pretend. We all do repos. Hell yeah, I think so. Andrea Borselli. Isn't that who it is? Yeah, so that's the opera singer, of course, which that's to stand because they're in Italy, modern day, or the Luciano Pavarotti of our time, obviously. But you have a lot of references to Satan here, satanic pentagram imagery. And then, of course, last year, this is the images we saw from the Olympic Games. Let me just show everybody. There's Pan on the table. Over here is the headless woman. Look at that, honey. See, why was that in the Olympics? Right? That was in the Olympics. And then you have this, which is the mocking of Christ, where they, so they had a DJ say, yeah, it's fucking, of course it's that. And so the fact of the matter is that they're openly mocking God. Oh, there's a guy with his crotch. That's fun. And there's the pentagram. So that's the Olympic opening ceremonies. Lest we forget the Olympic opening ceremonies beforehand that featured everybody in beds with nurses, sick with death. There was a statue of death that came in, if you remember that. So this one right here had the Marie Antoinette headless, this shit. And then if you remember the horse that galloped on the water, everything was like weird biblical satanic imagery. This was at the Paris Olympics. And I'll try to find some of that. But the overt Saturn worship, like, look, you have TikTok live with the Saturn worship. You have the Olympics with the Saturn worship, the nuclear shit. You have the World Cup with the Saturn worship. And that's really the biggest part of it, is a lot of people don't understand what Saturn worship is. And they worship the gate of hell is what it is, pretty much. Here's one where you see they have the horns. Look, this is... So watch, look at these people. This was from the... was this the Paris ceremony, or was this Rio? Yeah, it's in the face. Here you go, honey. So I think this might be in Rio. I can't remember, because there's been so many I haven't watched except for this. But there's like they're bringing out the golden or the bull to worship and shit like that. There is some fucking twisted shit going on here with like grotesque like torture shit that's going on here. That's the thing, man. Like worshiping Satan's not gonna. They're like, well, it gives power. It's like,
What he said.
what?
Did you read what he said?
What? Why worship Satan? What?
Read what he said.
Why worship a crappy car?
He said,
Oh, okay. Yes, exactly. So yeah, it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird. And that's where they mocked God. Olympics. They're purposely. Look at this. Look at this fucking shit. See, look. They're mocking God with the Last Supper, and then they bring Pan out. I mean, isn't this creepy as fuck? Oh, God, he's got flowers over his dick. I can't watch that. Anyway, but it has nothing to do at all with any type of sports. But yeah, here was the Olympic Games in London. So let me just point this out. This was in London. These are people in bed sick, and a bunch of nurses worshiping death as he came out to kill everybody that were sick in the beds. So that's at the Olympic Games in London. Why would they bring out... Okay, so this is a sporting event. This is a sport. That would be like, we're going to have the Super Bowl, or we're going to have the fucking, the fucking Stanley Cup. And so we're going to bring out a bunch of stuff mocking Jesus and having death figures. So why the fuck would you do that at a sporting event? It's got nothing to do with sports. You've got the patient in bed, it looks like a Tool video. It's like, what the fuck are you assholes doing? Because they have a bunch of people in charge that hate God and they mock him on purpose. Because they have a public and world stage to do so. And so, obviously, if you read like the prophecies of the Bible, it says that the world will see everything. And you're like, well, how in the fuck could the world see everything back in the day? Well, the only time the world would ever be able to see everything, right, would be in a public platform like this. So the whole world, I don't even care when YouTube existed 5 years ago. Where else in the world can you go and see live streams of what's going on at that moment? There's only two places you can do that: TikTok and YouTube. All right. And so this is what you have here. You have like the horses, like a pale horse, a horse of light, the one that's death. In the Bible, you have to understand, let's say you're an educated but primitive, like you were living in the 1st century AD, and you had a vision of this that I'm showing to you right now. And you said, well, how would I describe that? You may not know that it was just an act setup job because of fucking satanic elites or something like that, but you may have prophesied that. And then if these things come, what was that, Satan showing up? Oh my God. Anyway, so that's the Satanic Olympics. And then I want to get into the Epstein files a little bit, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. Sorry about that. We have, here is Thomas Massey. Trump administration has been putting in, or the Republicans have been putting in millions of dollars to get this guy replaced. This guy needs to be protected. So let's talk about Thomas Massey.
Working so hard not to get them released for so many months. What do you think the real reason is?
These files implicate billionaires and friends of his and political donors that he's trying to protect. And Epstein also had close ties to our own intelligence agencies and Israel's intelligence agencies. That's why there's so much effort in trying to stop this. And I do believe they'll try to stop it somewhere else. And that's going to backfire on them too. It's that simple.
Why do you think
All right, so there you go. Basically, Thomas Massey is saying that that Donald Trump's donors are in the Epstein files. So, yes, sir, exactly. Or yes, ma'am, I should say. So now you have like this right here, the Motorola Media Group. And this is Tommy Mottola. And Michael Jackson called these people devils. They get an extra massage room for you in bulletproof glass. So the people that Michael Jackson were saying were child molesting evil devils have been seen as child molesting evil devils because they wanted to get a massage room. Here is I want to show you what is happening here. This is a short video, so please, I'll show it a couple of times. This is a guy that's finally starting to crash out over the Epstein files. I'm still calling for nationwide protests over the Epstein files, but obviously I don't have a big voice anymore, do I, honey?
All of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all are acting normal. You gotta catch your flights. You gotta go to work. The Epstein fucking files have been released. And all of y'all are acting normal. All of y'all.
Yeah, and you see, the guy's right. People are acting too normal about this. Andrew Tate is not on the Epstein files. I will say Ben Shapiro and Nick Fuentes are downplaying the Epstein files quite a bit. I get Ben Shapiro, but Nick Fuentes, I am like, what the fuck?
These white people, they eat children and even sodomize toddlers. Epstein files. You Africans, these white people, they eat children and even sodomize toddlers. If you're not bothered by the Epstein files, you better start following, because tomorrow, these same Europeans and Americans you see walking about in Africa, they could be looking for children to eat and toddlers to have sex with. Yet because you didn't follow the scandal, you Africans will be treating the savages like a god and giving the monster everything they ask. When in reality you're dealing with a cannibal whom you think is as innocent as Jesus Christ. When in reality it is a white savage smiling to you. Look at just some of the people mentioned in the Epstein files. There were satanic cannibal rituals of eating children on Epstein Island and in whatever other secret residences they have around the world as we speak. So even if you don't have enough data to follow the Epstein scandal on the internet, just remember this one thing whenever you see any white person in your city or in your village. There are white cannibals who eat babies, and they are roaming the world as tourists and holiday makers. Warn all the children, all these African children, to be careful, because these monsters are even said to suck the intestines of the children whom they have caught and butchered. Check the Epstein file scandal all over the world. By the way, the one thing in common with all the people who are mentioned in these scandals, they are all pro-Israel Europeans and pro-Israel Americans. Israelis are also cannibals, getting everyone to eat children with them while pretending to be holy people. So be careful the meat you eat at the...
Jesus Christ, honey. All right, so yeah, we got...
About the Epstein files that were just released. And my take on this is going to be...
I don't want to hear your take.
You ready for this? This is hanging over Trump's head. So you thought that electing Trump was going to be the burn it all down option. If we elect Trump, he doesn't have to worry about re-election. If we elect Trump, he wants revenge because they tried to kill him. They tried to indict him. So people said Trump is unaccountable to anybody. Trump can just do what needs to be done.
Nobody had to suck Israel's dick, though.
Like a You understand? So if Trump doesn't bring us to war with Iran, the dagger falls. If Trump doesn't play ball with the Israel lobby or the billionaires, the dagger falls.
But is he real?
How does that happen? Why does that happen? The House will go to the Democrats in 26. They will impeach.
That's true.
Indict.
That's
Then
true.
it gets kicked over to the Senate. Republicans might lose some seats. I haven't looked at the map lately. The Democrats will have 45, 48 seats. They're going to need a dozen Republicans to defect, to convict.
Okay, so the thing is that is Nick Fuentes right on that? So I want to get into this real quick, and I've been talking about this for quite some time, and so Nick Fuentes on this issue is 100% correct, is that Democrats will be winning the midterms, and the Epstein files are cementing that, and I want to show you in real time what I'm talking about. So this right here is the latest polling among all polls, and I don't care if you don't believe the polls or not. This is the latest of all polls combined, and there's about 40 that I'll show you here in a minute, and they're showing the Democrats now 5.2% ahead over the Republicans. The Republicans are in a general decline if you go far enough back, and the Republicans were stable until these Epstein file situations. Now you can see that they're the Democrats. So the Democrats are starting to pop off while the Republicans were up, and then they're starting to plateau. You see what I'm talking about? So the Democrats are going near parabolic when it comes to gains against the Republicans. Now, yeah, well, that I'll show you some of them because I do have Republican polls down here, and this is the issue. So the first I want to show you here is these are polls showing anything in blue is a Democrat gain and anything in red is a Republican gain, and then there's dates and blah, blah, blah. So I'll show you the source here in a minute, but I want to show you this. See, these are all Democrat gains with very few. Now, this goes back to January 22nd. So you'll actually see some Republican victories here, particularly among like Fox News, Big Data Poll, Qantas, I think it is, Rasmussen, shit like that. But then all of them, regardless of their source, tends to start losing. And you can see the initial gains here of Trump that still had the ability to hold Congress. These, 2 or 1/3 of them being victories here, fizzling out to almost nothing, and then nothing at all. Now, the source of these over here are everything that we can imagine. This is Marquette, Morning Consult, Harvard, Economist, Signal, Fox News, Big Data Poll, Reuters. There's a couple of Rasmussens somewhere else, CNN, unfortunately, Signal, RMG Research, Atlas Intel, and you even throw some on here that are different. I don't really like the Reuters one. There's a Daily Mail one that can be kind of middle of the road, depending on what you look at. You have the Fox, every single one of them. You even had CNBC on here at one point saying that Donald Trump was ahead, if I recall. And so the problem is that we're having here is that Republican and Democrat polling is showing within 1 or 2% of this. Now, I don't like Democrats. Everybody knows that. But Republicans are also dropping the ball here. But the problem is like I live in a Republican state. Most Republicans that are going to vote Republican live in Republican states. So when you look at very liberal states like California, New York, and it's solidifying their victory. And then, of course, the other day, the Supreme Court said that California could use the clearly Democrat gerrymandered map that makes it, 3/4 Democrat just by, necessity, just by how it is. And it's all shaping up to a Democrat victory coming up. And I didn't actually realize that the Democrats had gained this much. Because I hadn't checked it for about 2 or 3 days. So I didn't think that they had gone that high. But the Epstein files are really starting to dump people out of Trump. Now, we can say, oh, that's not the case. But the reality is, it is the case. The reality is the people that are supporting Trump that are now having an issue with it. Some people say, well, no, it's all a hoax.
I have been ordered to tell you that the children are hungry.
Okay, I'll feed you in a second. So a lot of people, they look at the files, and you have two schools of Trump thought right now. You have the waning minority that say no matter what the files say about Trump, he didn't do it. No matter what they say. And then you say the other group that say, yeah, probably Trump might be a pedophile. And then those are your two, that's your two schools of MAGA thought right now. So you have the group of diehard MAGA, which is about 40% of them. And the other ones are like, I support your message, but everyone in charge is a sick fucking child molester, and I want to shoot all of you. Kind of like Tim Bridget or whatever his name is in Tennessee, saying he wants to hang all of the pedophiles. So you have like this mixed bag of Republicans that are splitting apart at the seams because of these files. And then then you have people like Peter Thiel involved. Well, they have deep government contracts. That's really fucked up. And so it's all crumbling. And then the Democrats are trying to take victory laps, but then their people are showing up in the Epstein files too. So then you have like the Bill Gates, the Soros, the Rothschilds. They're all showing up. The Mossad, all this other bull crap. And you're looking at it and you say, well, the people are not wanting Democrats or Republicans. But when it comes to it, they're pissed off at Trump for redacting the names of the pedophiles so they can't kill them. This is really what it is. And there's a growing contingent of people, whether you know it or not. Tim Burchett, thank you. Yeah, he's awesome. So he's the man. I would love to have him as a representative. But now you have this, and it's when I say a small amount, there's like, it was maybe 1% that wanted to just kill the pedophile elite. Now I'm going to say it's upwards of like 12 to 15%. That would be fine with seeing these people dead. And that's growing by the day, the more Epstein files that come out. And so you say to yourself, well, when are we going to stop this? When are we going to go after this? The longer Trump and the Department of Justice do not go after Epstein and at least get some people's heads to roll, right, figuratively speaking, or hopefully, literally speaking, this number with the Democrats will continue to go up, and this number with the Republicans will continue to go down until it's an absolute catastrophe in the midterm elections. And the Republicans at this point, based on the loss I'm seeing, and I thought they would lose by 5 or 6%, I would say the Republicans might lose up to 10% of the Senate and the House. And if they lose 10% of the Senate and the House, you might have plausible active impeachments that hold water. You might have plausible active impeachments of cabinet members that do actually work. That it's not one of those things where, yeah, the only way to turn it around is to show the public all the names of the pedophiles, arrest them, have Trump there with the DOJ looking like strongmen, and then affordability and getting prices to go up or go down. Those are the only ways the American people do not give a shit about donors. They don't give a shit. What's up, America? How you doing? The American people don't give a shit about helping the donors. They don't care about fucking billionaires. America wants two things: cheaper shit and billionaire pedophiles dead. That's about what it is. Prosperous, not to be hated. And it's not real difficult. It was, to grow. There's a growing contingent of people that are done with this shit after seeing all the sick shit. When you started getting into eating children, people are done. They're like, okay, put a fork in this shit. I'm ready to get my 30-06 and go have fun. That's where people are at right now. It's wood chipper time. You're damn right. That's right, Ray. And people are really pissed off about it. So there's a growing contingent of people that say, well, there's a lot of you in charge that were named. Some of you are in government power still. We want to kill you. And it's like, well, no, you can't. It's like, well, no, there's not a justice for you, because we all understand that you're protected by private security. The government and laws protect you. There's no way to take you out. Even if you do get indicted somehow, you will fucking worm your way out of it by the letter it or the or of, like Bill Clinton. So what we have to do is by force get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? By force, take you child sex traffickers and pedophiles, regardless if you're in government or a billionaire or whatever it is, and publicly firing squad you people. There's really there's nothing else that can be done here. This isn't like it's not in your face. There's satanic shit in your face. They're eating body parts. They're raping and killing children. This is a reality. It's not fake. And the Department of Justice put out these files. Everyone's seen it. Everyone knows it. We're sickened. We're horrified. And the only measure and the only way we can fix this is by executing the people that have done the evil damage to our people and the children. And nobody's willing to do that because we're all just looking the other way on our iPhones instead of doing what we all know needs to be done. And if that's the creation of a new faction or a third party to make sure we circumvent these pieces of shit to get it done, then I'm all for the Red Terror one more time, as long as it's only placed on elite billionaire child molesters. That's basically my position. So, if that is not done, the Republicans will lose the midterm elections. They're already going to lose it. They were going to lose it, but this is such a catastrophe when it comes to Donald Trump's electability and his people's electability. I've never seen such an absolute free fall. Here's Donald Trump's approval rating declining. As you can tell, the disapproval rating is the red, and the approval rating is the black. 54.9% disapprove, while 42.3% approve. The evils, but yes, absolutely. Yes, I did notice that. And you can tell Donald Trump's approval rating and disapproval rating are fucked. So we have a chart right here going back to his first term. And you can see the approval was higher than the disapproval. Or no, the disapproval was higher than the approval. That's generally how it is. The lowest Trump's approval went was 37%. And right now, Donald Trump's approval rating is at 42%. So his approval rating is actually higher this time than it was last time. This will drop significantly as more, like, I don't know how it's fucking anything above 5% right now. So it's absolutely insane. We have the I love you, honey.
Yes, the kids were in the kitchen trying to find food.
Really?
Yes, and one was eating grits.
Didn't they? They were just ate.
It was about a pack of pushies.
All
Are you guys looking for snacks? They're like, yeah, we're hungry.
right, hang on. So we have Democrat polling nominees. This should scare everybody. We have Kamala Harris. up 5.8% as the front runner. She's also rebranded. And then on the Republican, we have J.D. Vance up 30%. General election, J.D. Vance versus Newsom. J.D. Vance is up on the most recent polls over Newsom by 1%, even on the liberal ones. So J.D. Vance is doing good against Newsom here. Kamala Harris versus Vance. The last poll was done in November and has Harris up 1. Vance over Buttigieg winning by 1 point. Vance over Cortez by 3 points. And then Rubio versus Newsom. Newsom wins by 2. Rubio versus Harris. Harris wins by 2. They're actually trying to get Kamala Harris into office here. Political leader favorability. You have Trump right now on average 43, 53 unfavorable. You have Vance 41 favorable, 47 unfavorable. Mike Johnson 30% favorable and 37% unfavorable. Hakeem Jeffries 27% favorable. John Thune 19% favorable. And Chuck Schumer, believe it or not, 25% favorable, 47% unfavorable. Hold on. 20, and then we're going to look at the nominations, and this should scare you right here. This is the Democrat nominations. So I'll just put their faces up so I can show you. John Kelly at 5.5%. What's his name? Shapiro, 6%. AOC at 8.6%. Pete Buttigieg, 9.5%. Gavin Newsom at 23.2%. And the front runner for president for Democrats is Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris has been steadily gaining. She's up 5.8%. So more than likely, we're going to look at a Kamala Harris, Gavin Newsom presidency, I would assume. Hope you're ready for that dumbass horse shit. And then Republicans, there's no question. J.D. Vance is ahead of everybody. You have Nikki Haley, which I don't even know why she'd be on there. RFK Jr., DeSantis, Rubio, Trump Jr., and then Vance at 45%. So obviously it's going to be Vance versus somebody else. It'll be a tight race, but I predict that somebody else will win. Trump versus Harris, and then you have your governor polls. I don't really care about that. Senate polls, blah, blah, blah. And then it all goes back to 2024. So that's about the news right now. That's what's going on. I did read all through the news, but we do have this shit going on, and it looks like more than likely, unless something's done given the backlash of the Epstein files, which people keep pretending isn't real, but it is. It looks like there's going to be a very... Oh, no, I don't want to do that. It looks like there's going to be a very stiff resistance against Donald Trump, who will probably be losing, or not losing, the Congress and the Senate will both be going to the Democrats, whether you like it or not. So that's a shame, but that looks like where we're headed because I can't see any other way it wouldn't be. And I'll make some videos on that because I just want to show you how bad it is. So anyway, follow me on TikTok, Sup America 2 and Sup America. Follow me here. Don't forget to subscribe. If you want to be a member, I have memberships here. And yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? So, and I have Cash App and Venmo and all that other type of shit. And but subscribing is free. So, sorry, I ate a lot of food earlier. It was awful. It was bland cheese too.
Well, was it?
Yeah, they could have salted that somewhere. I mean, lots of butter, but too much butter. That's just Anyway, but yeah. So don't forget to subscribe, share, like, hit the notification button. I'm waiting for protests to start. So far, it doesn't look like there are any. If there are any, I'll put them up here on YouTube and we'll live stream that shit. Not that I don't want to have a lot of interaction. I'm not screaming like I should, but I'm kind of done with politics. I hate it because it's a bunch of elite child molesting pedophiles. So until we get out there and get some, going, then, whatever. Anyway, but don't forget to subscribe, share, like, hit the notification button. If you don't like me, block me and go fuck yourself. And I will be back tomorrow. Like I said, if you don't like me,